14 pounds even. Fighting out of the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, he brings a perfect record of 34-0 in 30 bouts, 30 victories by knockout, and he has held 2 WBO world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the #1 ranked heavyweight challenger in the world, Michael
Moorer in his 11th World Championship fight tonight.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with black and gold trim. He also weighed in at 214 pounds even. This 1984 Olympic bronze medalist is now a 3-time world title holder as a professional. He has a professional record of 30 victories with 22 KOs against only 1 defeat. And that only loss was turned around in this very same ring here at Caesar's Palace 6 months ago, making him, once again, the heavyweight champion of the world from Atlanta, Georgia, Evander Holyfield.
Smiling and relishing the occasion, Holyfield. Only the 4th man to regain the World Heavyweight Championship. Tim Witherspoon, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Patterson, the others.
All right, Teddy, if he goes right here, it's going to be all right. Fair enough, if he goes right here, it's going to be all right now. We've only been through the instructions one time. This is for the championship of the world. I expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Let's get it on.
The catchphrase of Mills Lane. 13th world title fight tonight for Evander Holyfield. His 7th at heavyweight. And waiting down the road if he wins, the big fight with Britain's Lennox Lewis, which is penciled in for November. Moorer looks to upset those plans. Due to go 12 rounds. Moorer in the green trunks, Holyfield in red. Moorer with the reputation of being an extremely dangerous puncher. Is he going to start fast here and try to test Holyfield early?
I think he's going to win. I think he's going to try and let some big shots go. He's edging his way forward. I think we looked at the strategy, and that's got to be what he's got to try and do.
Holyfield starting at 5-2 on. There was even more money for him today with the Las Vegas bookmakers. And Moorer 2-1 against. Moorer with this reputation of being moody and malevolent. But there are questions against his chin. How soon will Holyfield test that?
Moorer's tucking up. He looks a little bit tight, a little bit tense.
Certainly in the build-up to the fight, Holyfield has come across as the more relaxed, confident individual, but that can sometimes be misleading. Holyfield's always so superbly conditioned, so determined. Quietish start, Glenn.
It is very quiet. Moore just landed with a left of the body and a follow-up right hook.
Only the 2nd time that Holyfield has fought a southpaw. Moorer leading with the right. He's quite a square southpaw. That may negate some of that advantage. And Don Turner, Holyfield's new trainer, was making light of the fact that his man was facing a southpaw. He said he's still got a head and a body. He's still there to be hit. It's no big deal.
I think it's only a big deal if he's a real right-hand southpaw. Moorer, as you say, stands square on.
All right, get him up, Mike. Come on, get him up. Get him up in there. Come on.
Mills Lane telling Moorer to keep the punches up. Holyfield just looking to get in with those trademark hooks to the head almost for the first time. Never been particularly elusive, Holyfield. He's the type who'll stand in front of you and let go with the hooks like that. Moorer might look to counter through the middle. End of the first round. Glenn McCrory, what did you make of that?
Well, Holyfield got the better combinations off, but Moorer was intent. You know, he was quite satisfied to stand in front of Holyfield and let him throw his shots. I'm not sure if that's what Ted Atlas wanted him to do.
Don Turner in the corner.
You're moving, you're jumping too much. Okay. Half steps. Half steps, man. You see everything, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a strange question to be asking Holyfield. You see everything.
It is. I think maybe he's just asking to see if he's alert, you know, trying to see if he's thinking about the shots.
You're reaching in, he's going to start countering you. He's an experienced guy. Switch up. Fake it to the body, throw it to the head. Switch on a guy like this. He'll look for it. Keep snapping that jab.
He's asking him to switch, and I think he wants him to use more of the southpaw stance.
Second round. Holyfield in green, in the red. Moorer in green. IBA and WBA World Heavyweight Championships on the line. We look here for difficulties Holyfield might have in coping with Moorer's southpaw stance.
For the fast southpaw jab from Moorer.
Hasn't moved into his higher gears yet, Holyfield. He's renowned for the pace and intensity at which he fights. He's always right there in front of you.
Holyfield's not really getting a good jab off. I'd like to see him pump that jab better.
Good shots from Moorer. Good long-range punching from him there as he trapped Holyfield against the ropes. He's accurate, too, from that kind of range.
Moorer's got to try and keep it that range. He said he had a fast start.
Good round so far, this, for Moorer. For a long time, there's been a feeling around the game that Moorer just might be the loose cannon on the heavyweight deck. He's had to wait a long time for his chance. He's even taken step-aside money. At this stage, Holyfield just looking a bit tentative.
I think the southpaw stance is giving Holyfield a few problems.
Caught with a right hook, short one. Good punches from Moorer, who's having a big round two here. Took them well.
Yes, I think Moorer's southpaw stance is giving Holyfield problems. Holyfield isn't getting his jab working. He's been beaten to the punch by the southpaw jab.
Oh, and he's got him! The first man to go down, though, is Moorer from the left hook of Holyfield. Well, we have wondered about Moorer's chin in the past, and that was almost the first time that Holyfield had got through in a business-like kind of way, and down Moorer goes. Well, some round that. Just when Moorer really looked to be getting on top, back comes Holyfield to deck him.
That's right, Moorer was doing everything right. He was giving Holyfield some problems. Holyfield didn't seem to be able to fathom out the southpaw stance, and then he caught him with a very good shot, and Moorer went straight down.
Got yourself right back together. The only thing he did was you posed after you punched. The beginning was you. It was all you that round, and then you stepped back straight, and you took the eye contact off him. Keep your concentration up. You hear me? You step straight back after you punch.
Well, there was the superb right that just had Holyfield going for a moment from Moorer.
Good shots from Moorer there. But Teddy Atlas said he just lost concentration. He just stood in front of Holyfield too long. The left hook came right round the side of the hand. We see from another angle here. Right around the back of the defence. Moorer had his hands up, but Holyfield found a space.
How much will that discourage Moorer? How much will it dent his confidence? Round 3, things happening already here. Open air at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. Moorer has shown how dangerous he can be with the right hand. But what about his chin? Question has to be asked. He was down twice against Bert Cooper, but won Moorer. He was also floored by a non-puncher in Everett Bigfoot Martin.
Good shot from Moorer there. I still think the southpaw stance has given Holyfield a few problems.
The punches coming at him from unusual angles.
They are, and also he's waiting. Normally he's got a good rhythm with that jab, and he just seems uncertain about what's going to come. You see him pawing against Moorer's jab.
Punch out, 2 hands are free, come on. You got 2 hands free in there, come on.
Holyfield, a former world champion at cruiserweight. Moorer, who was a light heavyweight champion and missed cruiser out altogether, put on 4 stone in a year to move into the heavyweight division. And both weighing exactly the same tonight at 15 stone 4.
Although it was said that Moorer, as a light heavyweight, used to walk around at 15 stone.
Crisp short right from Holyfield. Good punch, didn't travel far. Has to be said that the knockdown is the only really significant success that Holyfield has had so far.
It is. He can't get his jab going. He just seems uncertain of where the punches are coming from.
Hey, hand off that neck, Evander, come on. Get off that neck in there, punch out. You got 2 hands free, come on.
Teddy Atlas, Moorer's trainer, has been saying he thinks Holyfield has got to the stage where he's ready to lose. It was a question of whether his man, Moorer, was ready to win. Last half minute of the 3rd round. This one boiling up nicely.
That elbow down.
And those punches landed on the gloves from Holyfield. The right didn't.
Because Holyfield's starting to get his shots off. He's starting to push Moorer against the ropes, where Moorer can't use any advantage he gets from being a southpaw.
Okay, 1 step back, clean. Everybody hit it. Come on.
Moorer's round, I think.
And let him swallow. I want you to use that jab, and I want you to work off it. I don't want you to be satisfied with it. You hear me? You go in there, and you start backing this guy up, and you start doing what we trained to do. Otherwise, don't come back to this fucking corner. Do you hear me? Let's go.
Well, they're reading the riot act to Michael Moorer there. In the past, he's not been the most dedicated of trainers, and they're worried about his concentration. Atlas trying to keep him up to the job here for the whole 36 minutes. He's not an easy man to train, Moorer. He's had his scrapes outside of the ring. He's temperamental. It will be a massive tactical triumph for Teddy Atlas, the trainer, if he can pull this off.
Atlas seems a good, strong character in the corner. Good work from Holyfield.
Now Moorer coming back at him, though, and a lot of those hooks of Holyfield's were hitting the gloves, as you could see, of Michael Moorer. Looked ponderous in 1 or 2 recent fights, Moorer, but you'd expect to see the best of him tonight on this, the night of his biggest chance ever. He's done pretty well so far, Moorer, apart from that knockdown.
Yes, that was the only real good point that Holyfield's had when he put Moorer on the floor. Moorer's, apart from that, keeping a pretty good defense.
It was kind of out of context with just about everything else that's happened.
It was. I think Atlas has really got to earn his money. I think he'd do well if he can keep Moorer's concentration in this fight.
Get him up, Michael. Come on, get out there.
Looks to be developing into another of those occasions where Evander Holyfield, as he's done successfully so many times before, has had to dig very deep to find a way to prevail. Came out of retirement for the Bowe return. Remember, retirement isn't ever far from his mind.
Holyfield again getting hit.
He looks strangely ponderous tonight, Holyfield.
He doesn't seem to have his normal style. He's not getting off on his jab. He seems a little bit unsure of what to do, which is very surprising of a man of Evander's experience.
Doesn't look sharp at all, Holyfield. Moorer, the younger man by 5 years, doing the best work so far. Worrying times for the champion. Welcome back to Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. Evander Holyfield is putting up an unconvincing performance here, despite having Moorer on the floor in round 2.
Right. What did you train for? Huh? You want to be heavyweight champ. Start doing it. Keep jabbing, hitting him with the jab. Don't let him back you up. Stay off those ropes. And when he's resting inside, slide
he's
back.
He's doing a real psychological job in that corner. Moorer fought very well in that last round. He's just keeping him at it, isn't he?
He's doing a great job in the corner. He's really worth his money. He's doing a great psychological job. He's making Moorer believe in himself.
Both men with new trainers tonight. This is the 5th round. Moorer gets through again at the start of the 5th. Fast start from him. Holyfield having to cover up. Holyfield, who's had some rough, tough, grueling fights. Is this the night when they all catch up with him?
It certainly looks as if this one's going to be a real test for Holyfield. He can't get past that jab.
There's a low blow there from Moorer. No point deducted. If he does it again, I think Mills Lane might step in. Holyfield showing signs that he just may be starting to step up a gear. He needs to.
Yes, he's got to. He's got to get closer into Moorer, and he's got to start putting his shots together in punches. He's letting Moorer beat him to the punch.
In the build-up to the fight, his new trainer, Holyfield, Don Turner, was telling him he should fight in spurts a wee bit more, explosive spurts. I don't know about that, because his great strength, Holyfield, is the way he keeps up that intense pressure all the time, usually.
That's right. That's right. He normally has a good rhythm throughout the fight. He keeps the pressure on continuously, keeps punching all the time, and he's not doing that. This is better. I think it's a good plan for Holyfield to try and keep Moorer's back on the ropes. Moorer will find it hard to get leverage from there.
Short little left hook inside, troubled Holyfield, and now he needs to cover up. Moorer's looking to finish the job. Well, Holyfield is having a torrid time.
He just doesn't know what to do. He looks very confused. He looks very tired.
Is another big Lennox Lewis payday in November going to go out of the window here? Moorer is the boss in a big way at the moment. He's cut as well. Holyfield by the look of it.
Yes, he is over there, around the left eye.
We'll try to get a closer look at that between the rounds. He's dabbing away at the left eye, Holyfield, and that looked a bit desperate from him. Left hook there. Moorer now looking to unleash his power. Is this his night?
Holyfield is not a happy man. At this moment, he just hasn't got an answer.
There's a grimace now on Holyfield's face.
Holyfield's really got to dig deep. We know he can. He's got to show the championship quality.
The end of a bad round for Evander Holyfield, who looks tired and old suddenly as he goes back to the corner. Barry McGuigan is watching these pictures in London. He's cut as well. Barry, what about this now?
Well, that's a real turnaround. I mean, Evander looked so well and so compact in the earlier rounds, and he hurt Moorer in the second in particular, had him down, had him in trouble, and it just seemed like a matter of time. But now he's allowed the guy to creep back into the fight, and he looked at 6s and 7s there at the end of this round, was hurt and looked confused. I think the problem is that he's trying to load up all the time and trying to take Moorer's head off with every shot. He should be working the body more often, but here's it's a good attack from Moorer. He had Holyfield in real trouble here.
There's an important point here as we watch back the replay of that last round. Holyfield is cut. He sacked his cut man, Ace Murata, before this fight, and Don Turner, the new trainer, said he'd do the job as well. So now Turner is having to do the talking and look after the cuts in the corner. It's all going wrong here for Evander Holyfield. This is the 6th round. Holyfield tries to get on his toes, but he just looks a shadow of the champion we've seen before. He looks tired. He looks like he's grown old overnight almost.
He does. It's incredible to see the change in him. He just isn't doing anything right at this moment. He just doesn't know how to get past Moorer's jab. Moorer's beating him on the inside.
And the southpaw factor, you feel, has been quite significant.
I think it has. I don't think he's been able to handle it.
Well, Moorer starting as a 2-to-1 underdog. That looks a good bet at the moment. Holyfield looks for the right uppercut. Did that get through or did it hit the gloves?
I think it did. I think it got through. It looked a good shot from Holyfield.
I think it did get through. There was a gasp from the crowd. Moorer took it well.
Moorer's got the center ring, looks very solid. Holyfield's dancing around, his hands are down. You know, he does not look good.
This will be some performance if Holyfield can pull this out from somewhere now.
That jab from Moorer is so important because Holyfield just can't get set.
Moorer always felt that Holyfield underestimated him. Moorer's southpaw jab causing Holyfield no end of technical problems, and he's dabbing away at the blood by the left eye.
And this is all Moorer at this moment.
There's a swagger now, isn't there, about Moorer?
There is. He looks very solid. Center of the ring he's landing with the jab.
Is he going to become the first ever southpaw world heavyweight champion, Michael Moorer?
Holyfield's got to try and get the strength to push Moorer back. He's got to try and push him onto the back foot and land more shots.
Damaged by the jabs as well. Holyfield, his head was rocked back there at the end of another bad round for him. Moorer's in charge here. Welcome back. That is not a happy corner. Don Turner there having to do the cuts and give the advice at the same time. That is madness, Glenn, isn't it?
It is. Holyfield made a very big mistake there. Turner just isn't. He started off trying to give Holyfield some directions, and then he started to talk about, can I have some water? Can I have this? Can I have that? It's a badly organized corner.
On our scorecard, Moorer has a 2-point lead. It would be even more, but for the knockdown Holyfield scored in the second round. That seems an age ago now, as the fight moves into its second half. Holyfield is being made to look pedestrian here. Can he somehow rediscover himself? And the chant around the arena now is Moorer, Moorer, Moorer. Now Holyfield starts to unleash. This is the champion's fighting heart. Look at him coming back here. 7th round, Holyfield wakes up and starts what he hopes is a comeback in the fight. That was the best work he'd done in a long time.
It was better work, but if you looked at Moorer, he kept well tucked up. He caught them punches on his gloves, and now he's firing back.
Was that just a spurt from Holyfield, or has he got more?
Look at Holyfield's defense. It's non-existent.
He's never been elusive. His gloves are low as well, and Moorer is punishingly accurate. At this point, you would say really the only danger for Moorer is his own possibly suspect chin.
Well, at this moment, Moorer looks very cool. He certainly isn't flustered. We thought that might happen if Holyfield put the pressure on, but he's still keeping very cool.
Just being picked off by that southpaw lead all the time, Holyfield. Moorer can't miss with it. There it is again, and again. Michael Moorer comes under a wee bit more pressure from Holyfield. He's covering up well, though. And he looks to counter off the ropes. He's a decent counter puncher too, Moorer.
And notice Moorer push Holyfield away. He's obviously still feeling strong inside.
Superb jabbing from Michael Moorer, a man who was first taught to box by his grandfather, Henry Smith, who used to spar with one of the great heavyweight champions of old, Ezard Charles.
Holyfield tried to do something in that round. He tried to put a bit more pressure on. But again, you know, Moorer seemed to have the answers. He covered up well. He came back out with his own shots. He looked strong. You know, he certainly isn't at all bothered about Evander Holyfield. He looks like a man who's very confident.
That's the lead.
There's Don Turner again in the corner. There seems to be mayhem in that corner. They do not look organised, it has to be said. And Evander Holyfield, we made the point at the beginning, he's got $90 million. He was arguing with Emmanuel Stewart over 100,000. How costly might that be on the night?
Do nothing in front. Punch if he jumps in, don't lay in front. Work off the jab and fight a full round. Michael, do not come back if you don't want to be scared. Mouthpiece.
I got it.
Go.
If you look at the corner, Ian, Moorer's corner is a much better organised corner. He's been told something. You know, he's getting somebody in there who's motivating him. If you look at Holyfield's corner, Don Turner isn't doing anything. He's too busy trying to fix the cut.
It's a factor in the fight, there's no doubt about that. And this is the 8th. An upset looms here. And Don Turner, that man in the corner, said he thought Moorer would be relatively easy. Anything but.
Again, Moorer beats Holyfield to the punch. It's becoming a frequent pattern.
Can Moorer keep up this impressive performance? He's never been beyond 10 rounds, Michael Moorer. This is the 8th. They have done a decent job with the cut. It's stopped flowing. Holyfield, it's almost as if at some point in the 7th round, something in his head told him just exactly how bad this was going and that he needed to pick up. But is there enough there to enable him to do that?
He's got to find something. He's got to try and get them shots off. Moorer's managing to keep him off balance.
The only man to move up from light heavyweight and become heavyweight champion of the world is Michael Spinks. Moorer would be the second if he was to prevail tonight. Moorer doing slightly less in this round.
Still strong enough to push Holyfield off.
Still that rather tired, ponderous, disorganized look about Holyfield, isn't there?
There certainly is. He just doesn't look solid.
Well, things here looking towards an...
You're going to cry tomorrow because of that.
Well, this is an Oscar-winning performance from Teddy Atlas in the corner.
Certainly brilliant
stuff.
stuff.
Don't lie to yourself anymore. There's something wrong with this guy. Back him up and fight a full round. Okay. And after the right hook, throw the left uppercut. Inside, throw uppercuts after someone top. Let's go.
Well, great stuff from trainer Teddy Atlas. Great motivational. He says this man is finished. Don't be crying tomorrow about what you didn't do. Our scorecard showing Moorer in charge by 3 points at the moment. Of course, it's the judges' scorecards that matter, but I would be amazed if they were seeing it very much different to that.
Go ahead on the break. Let's step back clean. Here we go.
Yes, Teddy Atlas doing a great job. At the end of that round, he was sitting in the corner on the stool, and he said to Moorer, do you want to swap places? Do you want me to do it? He really is getting his man stirred.
Well, if nothing else, he's going to become a star tonight. Can Moorer maintain this? Can Holyfield dredge up something from deep in his soul?
Better work from Holyfield. This is what he's got to do. He's got to push him back, but he still looks tired, Ian.
Well, even if he wins this, you'd have to say that Holyfield has looked a fighter here who's certainly beginning to show the signs of age and fray around the edges. He's had to eat that southpaw jab, as they say in the trade, all night.
He has. He hasn't had an answer for it. Don Turner said that it didn't make a difference, Moorer being a southpaw. But I think that's been a big mistake.
I think in the corner, the Moorer corner, their big question mark is whether they can continue making Moorer believe that this is the night for him. He's not the most naturally confident of individuals. He's still got a way to go as well, and Holyfield landing with some significant head punches in the last 20 seconds or so.
Yes, Holyfield just picking it up a little bit, just getting a little bit more success. Moorer hasn't let Holyfield get in charge.
The cut is no worse for Holyfield. have to make the point about him, Holyfield, that apart from that one time, he's always found a way to win before. But it looks a nearly impossible scenario for him at the moment. Let's hear what Teddy Atlas has to say again in this corner.
You know it's only 10 seconds left? Michael, you got 3 rounds left. You got 12 minutes left. You're blowing it. You're blowing it. I'm telling you, you're blowing it. And you know what? You're going to cry afterwards. You're going to cry afterwards. Because it's all there for you. He's going to lose his next fight instead of this fight. I just saw the scorecard. You got...
You're right.
Yeah, he's right there.
Well,
he's checking it all the time.
the motivation continues. There's nothing being said in the other corner, Clem.
There's not.
You know the Lord's with you.
It's a very down corner. They're missing that strong influence. You look at it in Moorer's corner.
Go out there for 9 minutes and take it to him and win the fight. Give him the mouthpiece, Mo. Mo, mouthpiece. Mo, the mouthpiece. Come on.
That's the first sign of disorganization once seen in Moorer's corner. They're just trying to keep him at it. I think Holyfield might have stolen that last round, Glenn.
I think he did. He just started to get a little bit more work, and I think you could tell that in the Moorer corner they were starting to get a little bit more frantic.
And Moorer, we have ahead by 2 points at this stage, and it would have been more, but for the 10-8 round that Holyfield would have had in round 2, having scored the knockdown. That's how we read things anyway, Glenn McCrory and I. Moorer, does he keep up and sustain his impressive performance? Can Holyfield somehow pull things out of the fire? There hasn't been the same intensity about Holyfield at all, has there?
There hasn't. Again, unsteady on his feet. His balance has not been very good in this fight.
Caught by the left hook this time.
Moorer's been very solid. That jab's been a good weapon.
He's looked tonight, Holyfield, like a fighter who's suddenly put his foot on the accelerator and found that the car has run out of petrol.
He is. He's certainly looking a jaded champion. But Holyfield's always shown tremendous guts, and I don't think this will be any different.
No underestimating Holyfield's fighting heart. Can he somehow produce a late rally here? It's a great jab, that of Moorer's, isn't it? It's rocking Holyfield's head back on his shoulders every time it lands.
It's very sharp, and right from the beginning, Holyfield hasn't had an answer to it. Normally against a southpaw, you try and hit them with right hands and left hooks. But Holyfield just hasn't forced the fight enough. This is better. Holyfield normally throws shots in that position, but he backed off.
He's trying to dig deep, you feel, but somehow there's nothing there.
You do. He's trying to bring it up from the well, but maybe he's just dipped down there too many times.
Last quarter of a minute of the 10th round. We'll get a quick comment from Barry McGuigan between the rounds as the bell goes there. Barry, do you see any way back for Holyfield here?
He's left it desperately late. What worries me more than anything else is he's badly disorientated. His balance is not good. He has no power in anything but that right hand. He's loading up on that all the time. He's not punching in bunches. On the other hand, Moorer is boxing very well. He's boxing very conservatively, and you can see where Teddy Atlas wants to see more work from him. But his defense is very tight. He's very hard to hit with that anything more than a right hand, and he's outworking Holyfield.
And still the silence in Evander Holyfield's corner. It has not been a good night there from many respects.
the jab and cross the left hand after you hit him with the jab. And when you hurt him, quit looking at him. Keep working. Can you do that? Can you do that?
Well, Moorer's trainer Teddy Atlas tells him as he comes out for round 11, you're 6 minutes away from becoming heavyweight champion of the world. A man surely needs no greater motivation than that. My scorecard at the moment has Moorer still ahead by 2 points. What about you, Glenn?
Yeah, I certainly have Moorer ahead. Holyfield's trying to get back into it, but Moorer has done the cleaner work. Holyfield's just very disorganized. He just can't get it together. He can't get any pattern to his work. And again, we hear the silence in the corner. He hasn't got a motivator there. He's got nobody to bring something extra out of him.
Holyfield has a $90 million bank balance, but that isn't going to help him now. Sharp combinations from Moorer.
Holyfield struggling to get his shots off.
He's looking a beaten fighter, Evander Holyfield. Is this the end of a man who's been a prominent player in the heavyweight story in recent years?
Yes, he's just looked jaded.
How much of it do you think has been Moorer being good and how much Holyfield bad?
Well, I think you've got to look and say Moorer's been good because Moorer's getting off the floor.
Better shots by Holyfield then. Moorer's in new territory now. He's never fought an 11th round in his life before.
Moorer's just letting Holyfield do a little bit more. He's got to keep sticking that jab out, keep unsettling Holyfield.
They do score heavily for aggression as well, and there's been plenty of that by Holyfield in this round. It hasn't always paid off for him, but he is the one who's been coming forward for the most part. But he's been picked off to some effect, like that when he's tried it, and that. Lovely punch from Moorer, the right cross. He's being outboxed.
He is. The jab has been perfect. That has been the key weapon. Holyfield hasn't had an answer for the southpaw jab.
Little pat on the backside for Holyfield from Moorer. There are 3 minutes to go, and he looks a tired, old champion now. And the blood from the eyes. What a sorry picture that paints, and they've run out of words in the corner.
I want to tell you one thing. Michael, in your mind, you're doing your best. Have I ever lied to you?
They're putting water there on the cup.
They are a very bad corner. You know, we can't say that enough. He's had no words of advice. He's had bad work.
You're satisfied just to do enough to keep him off you. You can't do that now. In this world, we can't do that all the time.
Fight it, Mike.
You want to win?
The Lord's going to get you through it. You got to get out there. You got to get after it, baby. It's time to go to war. You can do it, Holyfield. You can do it. Jesus loves you, and you can do it.
Don't let him rest. Fight the whole round.
Moorer's on his feet early. He's 3 minutes away. On our scorecards, Holyfield needs a knockout here. And there have been times here, quite honestly, when he's looked as if he's been treading treacle. Holyfield's a religious man. Don Turner was saying to him before he went out, Jesus loves you, you can do it. It doesn't look like it.
No, it's all Moorer. He's controlling it from the jab. He's got Holyfield off balance and in trouble.
He looks ready to go, really, here, Holyfield. Covering up. His fighting instincts are keeping him going, but he's looked really as if he's been walking up a very steep hill all night. He's covering up easily, Moorer, isn't he? And pushing Holyfield off.
And then counting with good shots.
Looked a good technical operator, Michael Moorer.
Holyfield's coming out in a straight line. Bad defense.
Michael Moorer is 90 seconds away from becoming the WBA and IBF heavyweight champion of the world, you feel here, unless Holyfield can produce something sensational in the last, 75 seconds now. There are precious few signs of it.
Holyfield showing the heart and guts we always knew he had, but it just looks as if the tools have gone.
It looks here for all the world as if the Holyfield era is coming to its end. Under the desert stars at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, where so much has happened for him. Still throwing out the leather. But the crisper, more authoritative work throughout this fight has come from the man from Detroit, 26-year-old Michael Lee Moorer. The crowd are being whipped into a near frenzy here now. There are people getting on their feet in these closing stages. Holyfield is in more trouble now.
Moorer finishing the round well, taking the judge's eye.
It's surely Moorer who is champion here as a disorganized Holyfield tries to brawl his way forward. Moorer talks to him. He knows he's got it. He's surely the first southpaw heavyweight champion in history. And I think that Evander Holyfield knows his time has come.
Everything was wrong for Holyfield. He couldn't do anything right from the very beginning. He just couldn't handle the southpaw. He didn't get the right back up from the corner. It was very disorganized. And I think a great job was done by Teddy Atlas. He motivated his man. He kept his confidence. He kept his concentration. Fabulous performance in a great corner. I think he's made himself a famous man tonight, Teddy Atlas.
He did everything but throw or take the punches. Well, that's the scene, the spectacular scene, as the ring fills up and we just await the confirmation. I have Moorer as a 4-point winner, and that, remember, is with Holyfield having a 10-8 round. Watching from behind me is Frank Maloney as well, the manager of Lennox Lewis, who, well, the payday, the November payday, the $30 million payday with Evander Holyfield looks to have gone out of the window. They'll have to start talking to Moorer's people now. It looks like that anyway. He looks beaten, disconsolate. It's the second defeat, surely, of his career. Only the second defeat in 10 years. I think everybody in this arena knows what we're about to hear.
Caesars Palace, we go to the scorecards. Dalby Shirley scores the bout 114 to 114. He has it even. Chuck Jappa scores the bout 116 to 112. And Jerry Roth scores it 115 to 114 for the winner by majority decision and new heavyweight champion of the world, Michael.
Well, I am absolutely astounded that Mr. Dalby Shirley saw that fight even. What was he watching, Glenn?
It's unbelievable. I mean, we say all the time, two guys never see the same fight, but how on earth could you see that any different? How on earth could you see it as a draw? Even giving Holyfield 2 points for the knockdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause?
Moorer is the heavyweight champion, and deservedly. I agree with Chuck Jampa's reading of that. He had Moorer the winner by 4 points. Jerry Roth saw there were only 1 point in it. Dolby Shirley had it even. An absolutely astonishing scorecard from my point of view. Teddy Atlas, the trainer there, is an absolute star. The motivational job he did on Moorer was quite brilliant. You'll be hearing a lot more of that young man. You might be hearing rather less about Don Turner, who was in Holyfield's corner. That was another factor in the fight. Joining me at ringside is the manager of Lennox Lewis.